welcome back viewers. Mr. Shah, do you agree with Mr. Simpson regarding the trait of integrity?
Completely, 100%. If you look at again, the reason I'm going to mention the Muslim-Islamic way again and again, because mostly Muslim has a problem for the philosophy, about the Republican Party. I'm going to refer to this sentence to his integrity and honor to our Prophet saying. And the last sermon, what he said, the respect of the nobody above, nobody beyond, unless the individuality. So that's the Republican Party. Individually, you do good, you're good ethical, you principle, you care about people, that's the principle of the party. Attitude, the principle of the party to help, but don't, just hand out every day, day in, day out. You rather show them how to catch the fish, don't give the fish every day, you heard that sentence. Third thing is that, like he just mentioned about the healthcare. We was doing very well. We're number one country in the whole 159, 184 independent country in the United Nations. We was the number one in every way. Doesn't matter, it's home care, extensive care, in any kind of healthcare, we was number one. What we did now, you just lately might be heard the news, 350,000 Walmart or Sam employees just got laid off due to the insurance problem. Why? So now you tell who's caring, the Republican or Democrat? Republican, a free market, you deserve it, you go, you are organization, hospital, they help you out. Now everybody say, thank you very much, we're not going to do it because we don't have a fund. So who's caring the poor? Who's caring the poor? The Democrat or Republican? The Republican against this, the healthcare bill, the same reason. Mostly doctors, I know, they get away from there. Hospitals getting back. Employers are,
आपको पता doctors तो इसलिए खिलाफ है ना कि उनको अब वो पैसे नहीं मिलेंगे.
So if you don't feed somebody, how is going to be feed you? So if you doctors say he's not going to get the money, they get poor or they don't want. So you line the poor over there, let them dead. At least they was getting something, but they're treating too as well. So at that time, they was caring the people. Now say, hey, I'm not going to get money, I'm not going to treat you. Thank you very much, you have a good day.
No, but the insurance policy should also streamline.
Check the policy, check the Obamacare situation, that how the bad policy is.
No,
why?
But the implementers should do this.
What the implementers do? You have no course, like say, again, Walmart and Sam example.
The job of the government is to give the policy, but the implementation of the policy is...
Yes, I agree with the job of the government to give the policy for betterness of the people.
But they say that is the better.
They say, they say, but the implementation of the party...
And the Democrats also say that they have also the integrity in their...
I don't doubt it.
Affairs.
I don't doubt that integrity, but they got integrity on this side. They are for all kind
Mr.
of...
Anderson, I think the judge should have integrity. This is the basic characteristic of the judge.
Well, I would like to talk about that because on the ballot are many, many judges. How many?
It's over 63, I think.
63 judges on the
47
ballot.
opposed.
And I would
63
tell...
judges of...
Up for election this time on the ballot. So when you do your ballot, it goes on and on and on. And
how will they evaluate, assess the integrity of a person? How?
Well,
a voter?
In the legal profession, we look at, do they follow the law as it is written? Or do they go off and do what they want to do against the law? So if you do that, you don't have integrity. You need to follow the law. A judge swears to follow the law. I swear to follow the law, and that's what we do. And so I would encourage everyone to vote a straight ticket all the way down at the Republican vote straight ticket, because the judges need to be reelected. I work with judges, and I know the difference between Republican and Democratic judges. Republicans follow the law. They're tough on crime. They'll give you a fair trial, but if you've done something to hurt someone, they will hurt you back. And that's why we need to keep them in the courthouse. They make my job a lot more effective because they are strong on crime.
Right.
Democrats are not, in general.
As a chair, can you take action against, disciplinary action against any member of the Republican Party?
Probably not. I mean, we believe in individual rights. The party
you have no authority?
Basically, no. My job is to motivate people, to lead them, to raise money, to organize. It's not to punish. We actually, the party is made up of me as a county chair. In our county, we have 1,069 voting precincts. So we have precinct chairs of each precinct. They're elected separately. So together, we've actually formed the official party. But the party is really in addition to them. Of course, all our supporters and candidates and officials. So we worked all together. To me, I believe in the principles of the Republican Party, which includes not that bosses control things, but that the voters control things. And I believe in our grassroots. And if we get the information to the voters, they're going to make the best decision. It's kind of like the way we believe in juries. We believe in similarly in the people having wisdom, and ultimately the voters also. So as picking up what District Attorney Anderson just said, Republican judges do follow the law. They follow the principles of the law, and they don't legislate from the bench. We just had a judge here in Texas last week, a federal judge, an Obama appointee, throw out a very common sense law requiring photo ID for voting, which virtually every other country in the world requires. A very common sense rule, but they threw it out on really a bunch of theory. Now it's temporarily back in, hopefully it'll stay there, but it just shows what happens. They're happy to sow disruption and chaos just to win an election. So that's why I think it's so important for all of your Harris County viewers to vote and to vote Republican so that we can keep Harris County working. Because and particularly all the judges, and the easy thing to do is to vote straight Republican.
So I want honest opinion from both of you. Whose election campaign is being run effectively, most effectively? Is Republicans are running most effectively, or the Democrats?
Yes, here in Harris County, clearly the Republicans. Now, I'll say this: we are faced with the fact that the Democrats have mobilized for quite a few years. I was elected this year and just took office a few months ago as county chair, basically on the need to rebuild our party. So we're focused very much on doing that. But the county is a 50-50 county. It's a very pitched battle. So if you think about politics is a lot like war, as the Chinese philosopher wrote. And so we've got air war and ground war and different ways that we're fighting each other. But what we're fighting for is for the support and the vote of the voters. So we're doing that intensively. But I think overall the Republican campaigns have been superior, and we're working at all levels to make sure our candidates are elected.
Mr. Anderson, are you facing tough?
Well, I have an
contest?
opponent. I have an opponent, yes.
Okay.
And I've done 3 debates with her. I'm going to beat her. I intend to beat her. But she's been playing a little dirty, which I refuse to do. I want to talk about the issues. I want to talk about who's best to run the district attorney's office.
So you have more prospects of winning?
Yes, I believe so.
Why?
But I'll tell you why, because a lot of what Paul's doing, I mean, he's got he's a grassroots guy, and he's organized and mobilized all these people. That's what we're trying to do, is get people to understand we will win handily if people go out and vote. And if you take your friends to vote, take everybody you know to go vote. It's the people who say, oh, it's in the bag, we don't need to vote. That's how we can lose. So he's been great at having all kinds of events, block walking, tele-town halls we're doing, where you can call in and ask me questions, or Paul. There's all kinds of people who are doing them, all kinds of elected officials. Very effective game.
Okay.
I'm doing a lot of my own work too.
Yes.
But yeah.
So best wishes. So these are the last moments. Any message?
Yes.
To
two
the Pakistani community?
Yes, very much.
So
Okay, first of all, message is this. I'm going to take a 30 seconds for about the Paul's some comments.
Yeah.
Say voter law, the federal judge did the voter that struck out that no ID. What is common sense? If you go buy any store cigarette, you need to ID for 18, alcohol for 21. We taking the life, the vote. Vote is your precious commodity to put a right person. For that, we don't want to check anybody, but for the tobacco product, we can get any counter. We need a license. Otherwise, we cannot sell state and federal law. Federal law prohibits 21 alcohol. So how come federal government this called hypocrisy or democracy? The hypocrite situation for the alcohol and cigarette, you need ID. But the precious vote, make and break it to the country. For that, we don't need ID. That's a hypocrisy and the democracy, whatever.
Right. So
the second message is that Fort Bend County, particularly in Harris County, I will request my fellow friends, family, community at large, please vote straight party Republican. Again, Paul said a while ago, and Ms. Anderson said about the judges, the judge ethic is more important. Look at the difference in between Republican and Democrat appointed judge, that he struck the millions of people who can vote without the ID, but he don't struck the law that they can go buy any alcohol, any tobacco product, anything without the ID. So that's the difference in
Good.
Republican and Democrat judges.
So, Ms. Anderson, can you give any message?
Oh, I just ask for everyone's vote. I have been a prosecutor, a judge, and a defense attorney. I've been running the office for a year. I am a person of integrity. I follow the law. I took an oath to do that, and that's what I do. If you want a district attorney who's tough on crime, who will help you as a crime victim, who will fight for you in court, then please vote for me, Devin Anderson, and my website is andersonda.com.
Okay, Mr. Simpson.
Thank you
do
very
you want
much.
to say anything?
Thank you very much for having us here today. And I just want to say to all of our friends out there, who, particularly in the Harris County area, do not listen to the headlines about how our candidates are doing elsewhere in the state. Our gubernatorial candidate may be leading statewide, but that doesn't mean he's going to win Harris County. We need everyone here to turn out to vote in Harris County because it's so important that Republican principles of small, limited government and individual liberty that will do the best for your family and help you put food on your table and get your kids educated be put into effect, because under Republican leadership, Harris County works. So please vote straight Republican, and definitely vote Republican all the way down the ballot and turn out to vote. Don't forget to vote by November 4th. Thanks.
Okay, that's wonderful. So messages are given, and thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you inviting
Shahid.
us.
Thank you,
Thank
Anderson.
you.
Thank you, Simpson.
Thanks for having us.
सो व्यूज़ आपने देखा, आपने डिस्कशन सुनी और उनके अपने अपने व्यूज़ आपने सुने, एंडरसन के, मिस्टर सिम्पसन के, और रिपब्लिकन की आपने सुनी कि वो कह रहे हैं कि हम इंटेग्रिटी उनकी एक इम्पॉर्टेंट ट्रेट है जिस पे वो फोकस कर रहे हैं, और यही चीज़ डिस्टिंग्विश करती है रिपब्लिकन्स को डेमोक्रेट्स से। डेमोक्रेट्स भी यही कहते हैं, उनके पास अपने दलाइल हैं, उनके पास अपनी है चीज़ें जिस पे वो खड़े हैं। इस प्रोग्राम का मकसद क्या है? मकसद ये है कि पाकिस्तानी कम्युनिटी को बाहर निकलना है, उस दिन वोट देना है, अपने नुमाइंदे मुंतखब करने हैं, यहाँ के जो पॉलिटिकल प्रोसेस है उसमें हिस्सा लेना है, और यही यहाँ के रहने की बका का एक अहम राज भी है। आपको अमेरिकन माशरे का हिस्सा बना, हम सिटीज़न तो हैं, हम सब कुछ हैं, हमारे पास सब कुछ है, लीगल सारा जवाज़ भी है यहाँ रहने का, लेकिन हम हिस्सा नहीं लेते, हम लोगों के पास नहीं जाते, हम अपने नुमाइंदों को देखते नहीं, मिलते नहीं हैं। सो ये जो गैप है, इंफॉर्मेशन और कम्युनिकेशन गैप, इसको ख़त्म करने के लिए वोट वाहिद ज़रिया है। वोट दीजिए, अच्छे लगे ना लगे ये अलग बात है। रिपब्लिकन्स को दीजिए, डेमोक्रेट्स को दीजिए ज़रूर वोट। थैंक यू वेरी मच। फराज मिजाज चाहता है। अल्लाह निगहबान।